Let me save you a few years of frustration real quick. If you want to become a high-value designer, the kind that clients trust, teams rely on, and people genuinely enjoy working with, there are 3 things that you need to stop doing immediately. And no, none of them are about Figma, Illustrator, or your obsessive attention to perfect kerning. High-value designers think differently. They communicate differently. And honestly, they behave differently in rooms with clients and teams. Number 1, don't be a naysayer. Let's start with a classic. A client or a teammate says,
what if we try a different layout? Maybe move it over to the left side.
Or,
could we maybe try explore the color red on these buttons?
Really?
And your internal monologue immediately goes, oh no, here we go again. I already tried that and it didn't work. That is why I'm not showing it right now. Moving everything to that side is gonna ruin everything. And then out loud, you say, yeah, I already tried a bunch of different options. It's probably not gonna work. This is very tempting. But here's the truth a lot of designers miss. Your job is not just to design. I know. Shocking. You really thought that you were just here to push pixels, huh? That's cute. Your job is not just to be a designer. Your job is also to be a collaborator. Sometimes your job is to show what doesn't work so that you and your team can move forward with what does work. That is part of the job. Being easy breezy and enjoyable to work with, that is part of your value as a designer. Now, does that mean that you will just blindly agree to anything that a client or a team member asks of you? Absolutely not. What it does mean is this: show, don't tell. So instead of arguing in words, even if I know that it might not be the best idea, I usually say, okay, let me explore a few options and I will get back to you. And then I show exactly what they asked for, even if I don't think it works, because usually when they see it, they're just happy that they got to see what didn't work and why, and that now they understand. Plus, I show one direction that I believe in that actually moves the project forward. This is where the mindset shift happens. You have to let go of your ego and operate from one question: what's the best for the project and for the team? Here's the funny part. Sometimes the client's or that non-designer's idea actually does have something to it. Maybe not exactly how they proposed it, but with your genius designer brain and your tweaks, it might turn out to be the best solution. And that is how teamwork works. And the best part of this is that now they feel heard, they feel involved, they feel even more invested. Don't make the mistake of thinking that people respect you less because you didn't do everything alone. Everyone loves feeling involved. High-value designers, they don't shut ideas down. They don't feel the need to protect their ego because they're confident in their skills as designers. Instead, they guide the room visually towards the best outcome. This is something that I really observed when I worked at Meta. The interview process is long and it's intense, and yes, they absolutely filter for talent and taste. That goes without saying, but that's only part of it. Emotional intelligence and collaboration skills are already being evaluated during the interview process. So how you respond to feedback, how you explain your thinking, how you explore your ideas together with others, that matters just as much as the final design that you present. So by the time that you're hired, the expectation is that you already know how to communicate and collaborate effectively, because at that level, being good at design is assumed. Number 2, don't show all of your explorations. Okay, this one is huge and I see it all the time. You've had 6 coffees before 10, you've explored 27 directions before noon, you're excited, you've worked hard, and then you show all of your 27 explorations. Chaos, overwhelm, decision paralysis. Here's the rule. Never ever start a meeting with more than 3 options. 3 is focused, 3 feels intentional, 3 communicates confidence. So before any meeting, take just a couple of minutes, review your explorations, pick your top 2 or 3, lay them out cleanly side by side, and then walk the room through them step by step. This is your time to shine. And also, you've been staring at these designs for hours. The team that you're presenting to, they don't have the same context always. They are jumping in from another meeting and straight into this one. So take that moment and claim that stage and take proper time to ground everyone in the room and walk them through your design and point out the differences, point out important aspects of your design that you want them to keep in mind when they are assessing which one they want to move forward with. And then you can, of course, always go deeper later if the conversation calls for it, and you can show the rest of your explorations as well. But part of your job as a designer, especially as you level up, is not just creating visuals at full speed, it's also curating them and making it easy for everyone who is involved to make an informed decision to move forward with. So if you show all of your 27 directions at once, it signals that you don't actually know what's strong and why, because all 27 directions cannot be equally good. That's impossible. So why would you show them? So your job is to guide your client or creative directors so that decisions feel easy and not exhausting. High value designers, they don't overwhelm the people that they work with. They edit, they curate, they think ahead about the experience of the review. 3, never say, I don't have time. Okay, so this one is subtle, but very powerful. Saying I won't have time shuts a conversation down. It sounds so final, and honestly, it's a little bit rude. Time, scope, and deadlines are all negotiable variables. Chris Voss talks about this in Never Split the Difference. He explains in this book that deadlines are often used as a psychological pressure tactic, and it is not an absolute constraint. When people feel time pressure, they rush decisions, they lower their standards, and agree to things that they wouldn't normally accept. So the mistake that most people make is assuming that a deadline is fixed, when in reality, it is often flexible, artificial, or negotiable. Voss points out that the moment that you react emotionally to a deadline, you lose leverage. But when you slow the conversation down and ask calibrated questions like, what happens if this slips? Or how firm is that deadline really? You often discover that there's far more room to maneuver than you thought. So instead of saying, I won't have time, offer options. You can say something like, if it's really important that this is done by tomorrow, I might need to push this other task. Would that work? Or you can say, I can absolutely do this, but to keep the quality where we would want it, we may need to move X to next week. Which one would you like us to prioritize? See the difference? You're not blocking the request, you're inviting collaboration around priorities. Most project managers and clients are actually reasonable, especially when you involve them in the problem solving and you just open up the conversation with them. High value designers, they don't protect their time by saying no, they protect it by framing trade-offs clearly. So to recap, if you want to become a high value designer, don't shut ideas down, show why something works or doesn't. Don't overwhelm people, curate your work and the review experience. And then lastly, don't say, I won't have time. Offer other options and solutions instead. So this shift from executor to collaborator is what separates junior designers from senior ones. And honestly, it has very little to do with tools. It's all about how you think, how you communicate, and how you show up in the room. Now, if you want more clarity around design process, communication, and leveling up as a modern creative, you're in the right place. Follow Create and Accelerate for more, and let me know in the comments which one of these that you've struggled with the most. No judgment, we've all been there.